Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Thursday. Glad you're here. Today's Red Mic message: the only perfect person. Growing up in Wichita Falls, I was in Troop 6 at Grant Street United Methodist Church. One of the adult leaders there was a guy named Nate Gould. He was an assistant scoutmaster. Great guy. He was one of those steady, calming people who seemed like he had been volunteering with Scouts forever. Quiet leadership, patient leadership, the kind that sticks with you years later. To this day, I still remember the lessons he taught me about a lot of things. For example, you've seen Bodark apples, right? Horse apples, those green, round fruits that kind of resemble a brain with all the squiggles and everything. They're also known as, like I said, horse apples or Bodark apples. They actually come from the Bodark tree. It's also known as the Osage orange tree. He taught me that the Osage Indians used the Bodark for their bows, their long bows. And the reason they did that is that when you have a long piece of wood from the Osage orange tree or the Bodark tree, they naturally curve. And the wood is so naturally dense that it makes a really great bow. Well, he also taught me that ranchers along the Red River Valley, where the Bodark tree grows freely, they discovered that because it was so dense, it didn't rot very quickly. So they used them for their fence pickets. So a little history about north central Texas. You'll be going along and you'll see, barbed wire fence and stuff like that. Chances are a good number of them have Bodark fence posts. Anyway, a little bit of a divergence, but you know, Mr. Gould, credit to the man. If we made a mistake, he had a way of putting things back into perspective. He would say some version of this: there was only one perfect person. It's not me. He was crucified. That was it. He didn't scream. He didn't yell. He didn't humiliate anybody. He didn't act like one mistake was going to define your entire future. He just added perspective. And that quote has been in the back of my head for a long time. Because one of the biggest mistakes I think people can make in their life is expect perfection from themselves, from others, from relationships, from careers, from leaders, or even from life. Life was never designed to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to face problems you didn't create, situations you can't fully control. Sometimes you swallow hard and you keep going. That doesn't mean that failure defines you. It means that you're human. One thing Mr. Gould understood better than a lot of leaders do is that people grow a lot more from grace than they do from humiliation. Now, that doesn't mean you get rid of your standards. It doesn't mean that accountability goes away, but humility matters. And too many people in leadership positions act like admitting a mistake somehow weakens them. So they dig in, they get defensive, they get petty, they double down when they're wrong. But strong leaders understand that if you can admit mistakes, people will trust you more, not less. That's the paradox of it, right? Humility creates growth. Pride usually creates isolation. And the older I get, the more I appreciate people like Mr. Gould. Not because they pretended that life would be easy, but because they taught young people like me at the time that mistakes were part of growing, not proof that growing was impossible. So remember these things today. Perfection is not standard, growth is. Humility makes people easier to trust. Mistakes should become lessons, not life sentences. Grace and accountability can exist at the same time. And the leaders that people remember most are usually the ones who showed patience instead of ego. That's today's Red Mike message. Hope you found it interesting. I hope you find it helpful. I hope you're able to put some of these things in place in your own life. I really do. Please give me a like, a follow, and a share. I'd appreciate it a lot. Thanks for being here again. I'll see you tomorrow. Hashtag Fun Friday. Bringing back Fun Friday tomorrow. I'll see you again tomorrow. And until next time, don't forget, as always, life is short. Drink the bourbon.